Hello, everybody, and welcome to 3 at 9. I'm Stephanie Simone here, and let's get this party started. I hope everyone is having a great evening and you're staying warm, even though it's not as cold as it's been. Of course, it's still winter, and I know many of you are probably planning your Valentine's Day weekend or maybe what you're doing for President's Day weekend. I know skiing is very popular, and I'm sure all of the skiing spots in Connecticut will be very busy the next few days. But let's get to some of our headlines tonight. We start in North Haven, actually, where parents are very upset with the Board of Education because they say that school officials, they cut this program that had been in place for nearly 50 years, and they cut it with little to no notice. This is according to parents. Of course, we have reached out to the Board of Ed and superintendent on this as well. We are waiting to hear back. But let's see the story that Owen Kingsley filed. You will hear from parents and you will also hear from school leaders. So this is the story that Owen Kingsley filed earlier this evening.
Last night's Board of Education meeting was a bit contentious at times. Now, parents with kids in the integrated day program were sad to see it go and felt blindsided by this decision. Jessica Tressel says her 8-year-old son was struggling in traditional classroom learning before he joined the integrated day program.
That has been exceptional for my children, for my child. My youngest daughter has not experienced it yet, and I'm sad that she won't.
The ID program grouped kids together of different but close age and grade levels, focusing on things like project-based learning and staying with the same teacher for multiple years. But new state guidelines made it difficult to keep the program going the way it was designed.
The newly adopted state-mandated science of reading curriculum, Bookworms, requires grade-specific materials and resources intentionally designed for individual grade levels.
The program was dissolved Thursday night at a Board of Education meeting, catching parents with kids in the program completely off guard.
We figured this out a while ago between the administration. Listen, we can do this calmly or not at all.
We heard about this 10 days ago, and now our first chance to speak, it's being voted on, and there hasn't been that communication back and forth.
A lot of parents, like Jessica, felt the same way.
Like a lack of trust with the Board of Ed and the superintendent because of the lack of transparency. And I don't want to feel that way. I believe in education, and I want to be able to go and have a healthy, respectful dialogue. But I didn't see that last night. And I also didn't see a lot of awareness of how fumbled the delivery was, dissolving a legacy program and the lack of regard for parents' voices.
We reached out to the superintendent and the chair of the Board of Education for comment. We are still waiting to hear back from both of them. The ID program will continue for the remainder of this school year, but one parent has already created a petition to try to bring it back already. It's got more than 500 signatures. Your reporter in North Haven, I'm Owen Kingsley, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Of course, we will follow the latest developments out of North Haven, and we are continuing to follow this case out of Darien, but also it has impacted families in East Haddam as well as Stratford. A judge is now ordering for the arrest of Sean Boardman. He is a former teacher in Darien High School, and he is accused of putting his hands down a student's pants. But as he was accused of all of this and arrested for that, more allegations came out against him, and these allegations surfaced years ago in East Haddam as well as in Stratford. So now he didn't show up to court today, and a judge ordered for him to be arrested, and our chief investigative reporter, Sam Spink, she went to court today, and she has the latest on these new developments. So let's go to Sam's story right now.
Not only did Sean Boardman not show up, but neither did an attorney for him. Sean Boardman is accused of slipping his hands into a student's pants while he was working as a math teacher at Darien High School. The student told police that she was in his classroom for math tutoring when he began to touch her inappropriately. In his arrest report, police said Boardman had a history of this kind of conduct, being accused of inappropriate behavior with students while working in the East Haddam School District and in the Stratford School District. Outside of the courthouse today, we spoke with one student who says he was also inappropriate with her back in 2008 while teaching at North Branford High School.
Massaging of my back, my shoulders, my arms, in a classroom all by ourselves, door closed. He was questioned about it. He denied it. He ended up getting arrested, and however, the case ended up being dismissed if he had good behavior for 18 months.
A warrant has gone out for Sean Boardman's rearrest. His bond is now at $100,000. Reporting in Stamford, Sam Smank, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
So, of course, we will follow the latest developments out of that case as well and bring you any updates here on WFSB Plus as well as on Channel 3. I wanted to get to a story that we did yesterday for the We the People series. I don't know if you've been following along, but leading up to America's 250th birthday, we've been doing stories every week, sometimes twice a week, about really cool stories about history in Connecticut and things that have happened in Connecticut history that really impact U.S. history. And so we went to the Bushnell, which in itself is a national treasure, the theater itself. But actually inside, when you look up, it is the largest hand-painted ceiling mural in the country. It was done by Faulkner, Barry Faulkner, and it is a sight to see if you haven't seen it. So I'm sure if you've been to the Bushnell, you know what I'm talking about, but you probably didn't know that it has broken records in this way. So we went to the Bushnell, we spoke with folks there about this mural and the history it has. So let's go to that story right now. Oh, maybe not, because, oh, no, okay. Yeah, we're going to do that story right now. Let's take that.
Bonjour! 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 Not the stage, but the ceiling brought us to Hartford's Bushnell Theater today.
So many people are excited to see what happens on the stage, but why should they look up when they're in this space?
Because it's magic.
And the best magic takes a lot of work. Barry Faulkner created this Art Deco masterpiece entitled Drama. It measures 187 feet by 40 feet. It is the largest hand-painted ceiling mural in the country.
It's placed above the whole audience, which symbolizes the fact that the arts, they're for all of us.
It took Faulkner and 3 apprentices 5 months to paint it on canvas panels in a New York City studio. Then it was installed here in 1929. The Bushnell Theater opened a year later.
When you look up and you see above you this beautiful mural, we call her Drama, and you see everything that's happening in it.
The Muse Drama is at the center with the masks of comedy and tragedy. As you go closer to the stage, the constellations.
That sort of really deep navy blue and gold is so evocative of Art Deco.
Then, as your eye moves up, it's an ode to American progress with symbols of innovation, like Al Jolson, who was the first actor in talking pictures in 1927. Go up, a skyscraper. That brings you to air travel.
The skyscraper goes up into the clouds, and then we see Charles Lindbergh's airplane. Yeah, it's beautiful. And I think innovation is a big part of our story. I think it's a big part of Connecticut's story, but our story nationally, and the mural represents that innovation.
We try to make the mural look its best.
Robin Joyce is head electrician here. While modernity is a theme in the art itself had to be modernized for the 21st century. Sprinklers had to be installed around it, and in 1995... Phantom of the Opera made this hole for the iconic chandelier drop.
It's still in such pristine condition, despite all of the things that happen in this space during a Broadway show load-in.
Musical theater was born in America. There's so much about the American story that is really anchored in the space of the arts, and I think that the Drama mural and the Bushnell itself are representative of that here in Hartford and in Connecticut.
And speaking about the Bushnell itself, the same architects that put together the Bushnell, that created the Bushnell, also did Radio City Music Halls. So there's actually a lot of similarities if you look at the two buildings, and if you're familiar with both, you might have a similar feeling when you're in both of them. Really both beautiful places and worth a visit. If you can see a show there, even better, right? So that is our We the People story. Let's go to our, fun, good news story. That was kind of good news, but we have another piece of good news for you. We're full of news tonight. Let's go to Valentine's Day. It's tomorrow. And if you haven't gotten something already, well, I'd say you still have time. You got 3 hours. You waited to the last minute. Maybe you can wake up before your special someone wakes up and you can go grab a few things. But we did a story today about kind of the ideas that you can do for Valentine's Day. And Susan Raff, she went to Berlin. She was off the chief political reporter beat today. Sometimes she likes to take a day and do something a little different. And so she got to do that today. She went to Berlin, where there is a very popular florist there. So take a look at Susan's story about Valentine's Day and gifts.
Nothing says Valentine's Day more than roses. Red may be more traditional, but whatever color you prefer, the Berlin Flower Shop probably has it.
You want to do a nice mix?
I was thinking a nice mix.
Yeah, we have absolutely beautiful ones. It's for your girlfriend?
Yeah.
Chris Wilkinson is ready for Valentine's Day. He's picking up a bouquet of roses, and there's more.
Dinners, we're going to the mall. Got a couple things planned.
Nick Erlacher sells thousands of roses for Valentine's Day. He gets his roses shipped from Ecuador. He says they're the best. And every bouquet is unique and full of color. Orders for flowers keep coming, and they are putting these bouquets of beauty together for every customer.
Today is going to be the busiest of last-minute people pre-ordering. Tomorrow will be the busiest of walk-ins.
This may look like the makings of a pizza, but it's a special one for Valentine's Day. Hambler and his wife Maria are making heart-shaped pizzas.
How many did you sell last year?
Last year we sold over almost like 100.
Maria was the one who came up with the idea. They sold them at their pizza shop in Bristol last Valentine's Day, and it was so popular they're doing it again this year. It's a traditional pie in some ways, sauce and plenty of cheese and some pepperoni. But once baked, the heart-shaped crusts are placed in a box with a special message. Each box is then wrapped in a red bow. Maria feels everyone deserves a little something.
Sometimes people can express the feeling that they have for someone. So if you give like a gift or something, beauty to that person's gonna feel like a special.
Oh, very nice. I like the heart-shaped pizza. Yeah, it looks good too. I'd much prefer pizza to chocolate. I will say that. Maybe that's not how everyone feels. But anyways, I hope everyone has a great Valentine's Day tomorrow. Don't make too much of a big deal out of it. Just a little card. That's all you need. Maybe a little food together, pizza, whatever. Just spending time with everyone and with the people you love and feeling loved, right? That's what kind of Valentine's Day is all about. So have a great Valentine's Day and a wonderful President's Day weekend. Of course, we'll have the latest headlines tonight at 10 on the Wax and streaming here on WFSB Plus, and of course 11 too. I hope all of you have a great night and happy Valentine's Day.